Toulon, France. Toulon, France.
You have to be They'll be good.
31,000 square kilometers, and well, slightly a little bit more smaller than North Carolina, to give you sort of a comparison. And Toulon has always had a defensive role, has always played this role as a military haven. The main reason, as you can see, is that it's a very safe haven. It's completely naturally fortified or naturally protected by this crown of limestone hills that you see surrounding the whole bay. At the beginning it was a bay with two issues to the sea, open, and since the 3rd century the second part was completely blocked. A stretch of sand was formed with Posidony wigs, with tamarins and with sand, and it was closed. So it's got 30 kilometers facade to the sea, but just a 2-kilometer entrance. And it were the Romans, the first ones to establish here and to protect the area and to establish a military harbour. In Roman times it was called Tellum Marsus. Tellum, which means stone, because it's completely surrounded by these stony hills, and Marsus, because Mars was the god of war for the Romans. These as you can see, then little by little, they're going to develop a ring of fortresses around this bay. The first ones that we are already seeing on the left side, this Aiguillette Balaguer Tower, date back to the 16th century. Why? Because before 1481, all this region was a county, an independent county. So that's also one of the reasons why this region receives so many tourists, because it's quite different from the rest of France. For the western part of it, it was a county until 1481, and for the eastern part of it, around Nice, it belonged to the dynasty of Savoy, and it started being French in 1862, so they really maintain lots of traditions, particular institutions, and even the provincial dialect that make a difference with the rest of France. In front of us, on the left side, this tower of Balaguer, you see a very big round tower, the Royal Tower, again of the same period, because they tried to crossfire with these two towers and protect and stop the enemy from entering the deepest corner of the bay. so these structures started being built in the 16th century. Once it was already French, and the first king to protect it was Francois I, because he was the sworn enemy of the Emperor Charles V, and so he had a great interest in protecting all this area. You just have seen Oriental style palace, and you see many others around this part of the bay. This part of the bay that is called Sanary, and it was developed in the 19th century. It was developed by a man that was called Marius Michel. We'll talk a little bit about him, because he was for a long time the major of the first village that we are going to visit, of Sanary-sur-Mer. He was an engineer at the period of the Emperor Napoleon III, and a good engineer that belonged to the Navy. And this emperor advised him to go to the Turkish Empire and recommended him to the emperor, where he spent more than 30 years of his life building lighthouses and harbors around this eastern part of the Mediterranean. He was awarded the title of Pasha because he worked so well, and when he came back he was no longer known as Marius Michel, but as Michel Pasha. And he became very rich and full of interest in his homeland, and he invested and created this walking avenue around the sea, and all this part of the right side he developed with this oriental style that you are still seeing in the next buildings. He developed a tourist center with several villas, a casino, and some fine, good hotels. The problem is that officers, well, the Navy police officers in this center of Saint-Mandrier. And as you can see, the bay, well, is used for the Navy. It's got also a regular ship ferry service with Corsica, but even so, the waters are clear enough, have a good quality, and we are developing more and more agriculture activity. So they grow mussels and they grow fish for selling it, and they do quite a lot of research on the seabeds of the bay. The first project was done quite close to your ship. You have a buoy just at the entrance of the gate that is called the Bora Bora, and it develops. It's entirely consecrated to this research on the seabeds.
Nice.
You see that we have a very Mediterranean climate, so very dry climate, especially dry because we have a wind that is called the Mistral wind. Mistral for the Romans meant magister, so master wind, because it's the dominant wind in the region. It's a wind that comes from the north, it comes from the Alps, it blows, and that's why normally at the entrance of a state, at the entrance of a property, of a village, you have these cypress trees telling you, hey, here you're welcome, huh? You can stay. But last longer here.
So many flowers.
Yeah, everything's just so pretty.
No, he's from the north of France, from the Picardy region, but he's really very much loved here. Take a lot of pastis. I'll tell you later about it. And now you have a really good view of the Bay of Sanary. In your map, you see that you can walk along.
Oh, look.
Yeah.
Well, it's not one of the best places for surfing. The best place is quite close, 30 kilometers from here in Almanar, in Tombolo, where it's really more windy than here. But you see that really the beaches are very nice and very well protected, not at all dangerous. In the market and in the baker shops, you will also find another specialty which are called navette, and which are cookies. Cookies with the shape of a boat, because the tradition tells us that the region received the gospel thanks to a troop of saints with Mary Magdalene in the first place, that came directly in a boat from the Holy Land, and miraculously arrived to this coastline, and then preach the gospel throughout the region. And so, to commemorate this event, they still produce these cookies with the shape of the boat, the navette. They have orange blossom or lemon or anise flavor, and you'll find it everywhere. You see the market. So it will be full of people, unfortunately. Yes, this big market takes only place on Sunday. Daily we have just the fruit and vegetable market. Be ready to get off the bus and take everything you may need for the following hour. But if you want to leave something in the bus, there's no problem, it will be closed. Nevertheless, don't leave anything really very valuable, let's say. On the left side you will see a red device among these palm trees, which is one of the devices of Cousteau. C'est pas grave, c'est plus facile.
It's more like
Why not? Huh? ATVs. Huh? That's what Joe had, or Tommy. Tommy has one of those.
Who does?
Then you've got a very nice walk of 20 minutes around. It's not really very steep and it's very nice. And you go up there to a chapel that's got lots of exposures, a chapel dedicated to Our Lady, where the sailors go and beg for her protection. And when they come back, safe and sound, they give a little picture or just to say thank you to Our Lady. And you've got an excellent view of the coastline. So if you feel like walking, like it, and you want to enjoy the view, that's a good idea. All these sheep, all these boats, with the flag, with the yellow and red striped flag, that's the flag of the region. And all these are heritage boats. Here you've got to paint them again, use them, and they are very straight. And that's why they were chosen the fishing technique. But especially for the tuna, meant to use several boats in a row in front of the other, stacked together in the tuna piece. And today they are just leisure boats, you will see many more now. You see the tower, the tower of the 12th century, the tower. Today is a museum, but unfortunately it opens only in the afternoon. And another is the church itself. It was built again by this Fabius Michel, who gave the money, and he built it in this Byzantine style, this Oriental style. And 5 years ago they managed to get in touch with a priest that used the fresco technique to paint it inside also in this Oriental style. And it's really very lovely, especially because you recognize some sons that are not still sons, for example the Mother Teresa, and some others that are sons, Jean Cassian and others. The garments and French things that also. So enjoy your free time. If you have any questions, I'm here for a moment. And we'll be meeting here then back in an hour. At 10:15, we'll meet here and we'll walk together, and I'll bring the bus to me once we are all of us together. So
What would you like to do?
Go to the bathroom.
Behind, and you have also by the
And the radishes and the bell peppers, look how red they are. Y'all were not taking
It's afternoon.
No, that was.
No? What is this?
The tower.
This is the tower.
No, it's the military tower.
From the church. That's what I said.
I think that's the tower.
I was saying verify that
I think that's the tower.
That's the tower that isn't open.
yeah.
The church was having mass. Tourist office. Usually it's when the mass starts. Well, I'm not sure that's the... It looks like a little... Oh, that's cute. That is really cute.
Mini golf.
Miniature golf. I'm probably not saying it right.
Who was an excellent French film director that had here his house. And a famous person that is really very well known in the region is Paul Ricard. Paul Ricard was a rich businessman that was the owner of the island there, and the one that developed a lot this place. Paul Ricard produced pastis. Pastis is an alcoholic beverage.
I got a picture of it from tape.
I wonder if they're... Well, do we want to get off?
How many minutes?
2.
Well, there she is.
The white Mercedes.
Oh, that's very pretty.
What am I gonna do like this? Can we take on the show?
I think you have to leave why don't we try some around? Why don't I put it in my bag?
When you're there,
I got one car.
you put it like this.
You think it's gonna be like a... I don't know if I can see any barriers. As long as the room is maybe even overlook the inlet here. Yeah.
So that is coming on this.
Yeah. So you can just see what I'm recording.
For example, for the Castellet in 1973, the major was conscious that there was a heritage, a traditional heritage in the buildings of these humble houses of the villages to be preserved. So he restored the village and he offered the little houses mainly to artists, art galleries, craftsmen, to develop their art and to concentrate and offer to the tourism their products. So there are a lot of villages like that that have been really well restored and that offer lots of advantages to artists. So you see this building typical of the 70s, that is Town Hall, which was decorated by Victor Vasarely. Vasarely, that was a painter and architect of Romanian origin, that formed in Lab House School and came to the Provence and worked a lot in Aix-en-Provence. On the left side, you see this drawbridge standing up. It's no longer used to exchange merchandise, but which was its main function. It was today is an elevator, a panoramic elevator, to where offers you really good views of the bay, and it was built by Gustave Eiffel in 1917. The same engineer that built the tower, and here it was really an important element to bring all the material necessary for the shipyards to work. Of course, after these shipyards closed down, all this area had a major challenge to change, to shift from this industrial activity to other sorts of activity, and they've been changing and refurbishing all the area. On the left side, they have created this park. You see that the trees are still very young, but it will be a beautiful park by the sea, and all this residential area in front of it. And the only element of heritage that will be left will be this gate, which was the entrance gate of the shipyards, here in your left. It was just the entrance way to gate to the shipyards. The mount on the left side is a Mount Coudon, that still has got some radar center of the Navy. Enjoyed this half-day tour, mainly scenic tour around Toulon with these two typical villages of the seashore. And for Eric and for I, it was a pleasure to have you with us. I thank you very much for your punctuality, for being in time, because this really makes us our work easier. And it's really less stressing, and it's really important, so I thank you very much for it. And I also thank you, of course, for your attention. I wish you a very good holiday and a very good cruise.
The higher up you are, more vibrations you feel. Lower decks are more stable.
We're on 12.
Look up at the back.
Look at the back. I guess, but up on top.
They closed it all. I think we can walk out one
She's sailing, I guess.
level above where the light.
Hey, we can get stuff here to get rid of our. You don't want to get rid of your. Not there.
They did change.
We'll be in to go.
How many years left? You can take it to your bag. Because they're so ropey.
You have to go down one.
So tonight here, all the staff in the Bordeaux dining room, along with Princess Cruises, we proudly present the Parade of Baked Alaska. So I'm going to ask you to grab your napkins, wave them in the air. This is the Parade of Baked Alaska! Alright, one more time please. Put your hands together for the Parade of Baked Alaska, everyone. And of course, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all this amazing staff that has been working really hard for you during the past 11 days. Now, I would like to start with this very talented team. They're always behind scenes, but tonight, of course, they came out to say hi. Please, ladies and gentlemen, give it all for the Galley team. Now, at the front of the house, please give it up for your junior waiters and waitresses. And keep that applause going for you waiters and waitresses. Yeah. Now, I can see you're very loud tonight. So, as a tradition, I'm going to ask you on 3 to make a lot of noise, cheer and clap, if you think your table has the best service. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Always good to hear a lot of noise on this one. Thank you. And last but not least, the next gentleman I want to introduce you. He's in charge of food service over all this magnificent ship. All the way from Italy. Please put your hands together for our maitre d' Giuseppe. Now I'm going to ask you to grab your glasses, raise them in the air, we're going to make a toast. It's a bit different tonight. Thanks to you, ladies and gentlemen. We said to the old cruise ships, to the new cruise ships, but the most important one, to the new friendships. Thank you very much. Have a safe journey back home, and we hope to see you in the future. Salute!